You know, that very specific, just deeply unsettling moment of panic. I mean, we have all been there.
Oh, absolutely.
You're standing on a street corner, right? In a city you don't know at all. And the little blue dot on your phone's map is just like spinning wildly in circles.
It's constantly recalibrating.
Yeah, recalibrating over and over. And this cold realization just washes over you that you have absolutely no idea where you are.
It really is this profound disruption to our sense of control. I mean, your internal compass just completely shuts down.
Yeah.
And suddenly the entire environment around you just feels entirely unreadable.
And the fascinating thing to me is like what most of us choose to do in that exact moment. Because instead of doing the logical thing, we
put the phone away.
Right. We just shove the phone in our pocket, puff out our chests, and start walking with this intense purpose in a completely random direction.
Just faking it.
Totally faking it. We project this aura of knowing exactly where we're going. We choose to march boldly into the unknown rather than, just stopping to ask somebody for help.
Which highlights a really strange tension in human psychology, actually, because the fear of looking vulnerable or standing out as a lost tourist, it manages to completely override our basic survival instinct to seek assistance.
It's crazy.
It is. We literally prioritize our pride over actual navigation.
Well, today, we are dismantling that pride. Our mission for this deep dive is to really decode one of the most universally stressful human experiences, which is navigating an unfamiliar place in a different language without, spiraling into total panic.
Because it really is stressful.
So stressful. So whether you're traveling abroad or actively learning English or just trying to communicate better when your brain is under immense pressure, we're going to break down the exact mechanics of asking for and understanding directions.
Right, because navigating isn't just a geographical challenge, it's actually a test of mastering a very specific, highly nuanced type of social interaction.
It's a social thing.
Exactly. You're approaching a complete stranger to ask for a favor, often in a second language, while you're operating in this state of mild distress. Navigating that dynamic requires some highly specialized social tools.
And to extract those tools, we're pulling from this really fantastic English learning guide called The Traveler's Compass, Mastering Directions in English.
Sure.
And we are specifically analyzing a lesson run by hosts Aurora and Alex.
It's a great source.
It is. And right out of the gate, they tackle this exact psychological barrier we were just talking about. Like, Alex admits that his own stubborn pride has gotten him hopelessly lost more times than he can count.
I think we can all relate to that.
Oh, 100%. And he brings up the reality that to overcome that stubbornness, you need to feel absolute confidence in your approach. You have to know how to break the ice with a stranger without startling them.
Well, the initial approach is really the most volatile part of the entire exchange, because before you can secure any useful geographical data, you have to successfully bridge the gap between two strangers in a public space. And that space is governed by a lot of unspoken social rules.
Okay, let's unpack this. Because jumping right up to someone on the street and blurting out, like, where is the train station? Just a terrible strategy.
Just awful.
Otto points out that you need a polite opener, right? A buffer.
Yeah.
You need to initiate with something like, excuse me, could you help me with something? Or, excuse me, do you know where the train station is?
Yeah, if you think about the sociology of public space, everyone is walking around in a kind of, urban armor.
Urban armor, I like that.
Right, they're wrapped up in their daily commute or their own internal monologue. So when you suddenly demand a location without a buffer, you are aggressively shattering that armor. It actually registers as a threat to the brain.
Yeah, it makes me think of like knocking on a door.
Oh, that's a good analogy.
Thanks. Yeah, using the phrase, excuse me, is basically a verbal knock. It announces your presence and politely asks for permission before you cross the threshold into someone's personal bubble.
Exactly.
But let's be realistic about human nature for a second here. Let's say you're visibly panicked. Your phone is dead, it's getting dark, and you are incredibly stressed. Doesn't the urgency of the situation kind of excuse the lack of a pleasantry?
You'd think so, right?
Yeah. I feel like if I'm in full panic mode, the pleasantries just go out the window and I just need the information immediately. I don't have time for a verbal knock.
But the irony is that, sociologically speaking, your high level of urgency actually makes that polite buffer substantially more important.
Wait, really? Why?
Because when you approach someone in a state of panic, your energy is frantic. If you just bark out a question with that kind of intense, erratic energy, the stranger's natural human reflex is entirely defensive.
Oh, I guess that makes sense.
They're going to recoil. They might even just ignore you and keep walking because their brain has flagged the interaction as unsafe.
So you're coming in way too hot, and their system just rejects the interaction completely.
Precisely. That verbal knock you mentioned, it does a massive amount of psychological heavy lifting.
Right.
The phrase, "excuse me," acts as a social shock absorber. It signals to the stranger, hey, I am fully aware that I'm breaking the unspoken rules of public space by interrupting your walk, and I'm apologizing for it.
Wow, just 2 words do all that.
Yes, it instantly transforms what feels like an aggressive ambush into a polite, manageable request.
And Alex adds another variation in this lesson that I think plays into that beautifully. He suggests saying, sorry to bother you, but I'm a little lost.
That's a powerful one.
It is.
Yeah.
He highlights that people are actually overwhelmingly happy to help once you simply acknowledge the interruption.
Because it completely shifts the power dynamic.
Yeah.
By admitting you're lost and saying sorry to bother you, you are displaying vulnerability. Instead of, demanding information, you're extending an invitation for empathy.
And people respond well to that.
Very well. That vulnerability triggers a deeply ingrained cooperative response in most human beings. We are just wired to help someone who politely admits they're in trouble.
So, okay, you've used your social shock absorber, you knocked on the door, you disarmed the stranger, and you asked your question. The ice is broken.
That's one complete.
Right. But now you crash right into the next massive hurdle, which is processing the answer. Because the universal reality of asking a local for directions is that they talk incredibly fast.
Oh, blazingly fast. They talk fast because they're operating from this cached mental map of the area that they've spent years building.
Yeah, they know it like the back of their hand.
Exactly. And they assume you share that same baseline understanding, which you obviously do not. You're out there trying to render this map in real time, completely from scratch.
Which means we need to talk about decoding their rapid-fire metrics. The baseline directional anchors are pretty straightforward, I think.
Yeah, the basic vocabulary.
Right. Phrases like, go straight, turn left, turn right, and it's around the corner, which, just means it's immediately past the nearest turn.
Simple enough.
And you'll also frequently hear, it's on your left or it's on your right, meaning the destination will just simply be on that side of the street when you finally arrive.
Those foundational commands are usually easy enough to catch.
Sure.
The real danger for anyone trying to navigate doesn't lie in the structural directions. It lies in how terrible humans are at estimating distance.
Oh man, here's where it gets incredibly frustrating. And Alex really calls this out in the lesson. Locals love to use these vague distance markers.
They really do.
They'll say like, it's 5 minutes away or it's just down the street. But the ultimate trap, like the most spectacularly unhelpful phrase you will ever encounter, is it's not far.
No, it's not far, is a linguistic black hole.
Black hole, yes.
It has led countless travelers completely astray because it lacks any objective metric whatsoever.
It is entirely subjective.
Yeah.
I always compare someone saying it's not far to a chef telling you a dish is not spicy.
Ha! That's a perfect comparison.
Right, because if a chef eats ghost peppers every single day, their baseline for spice is completely warped compared to yours. You are still going to burn your mouth.
Exactly.
And as Ada points out, not far to a local might mean a 2-minute stroll, or it might mean a brisk 20-minute hike across town.
And this subjectivity creates a real psychological dilemma for the person asking.
Oh, so?
Because the immediate instinct for most people, especially if you're processing a second language, is to just nod along.
Oh, totally.
You smile, you nod, and you pretend you completely understand what not far means because you do not want to hold up the interaction or look foolish.
The classic nod and smile while internally panicking strategy. I've done it a million times. We do it to save face.
We do, but it completely defeats the purpose of stopping them in the first place.
Yeah, you're still lost.
Right. And this is where Alex and Ada strongly advocate for the power of clarification. It is absolutely crucial to push back on those vague metrics.
So what should we say instead?
Ask a direct follow-up. Say, is it walking distance? Or better yet, force an objective number by asking, how many minutes away is it exactly?
Ada emphasizes this point heavily in the source. She says asking for clarification is not embarrassing. It is a strategic move.
Right, but it requires a vital shift in how you view the interaction, because you might feel like asking how many minutes exactly is being annoying or exposing your lack of comprehension.
Yeah, you feel like you're being a burden.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But psychologically, seeking that kind of clarity actually demonstrates active engagement. It shows the local that you are taking their guidance seriously, you value their time, and you genuinely want to get the details right.
Oh, I hadn't thought of it like that.
Yeah, it validates their effort to help you, rather than just brushing them off with a fake nod.
Okay, so because human estimates of time are so unreliable, locals will naturally pivot anyway. They'll stop trying to calculate distances and start throwing visual anchors at you instead.
The human brain heavily favors spatial memory.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We remember distinct objects in our environment far better than we can calculate abstract spatial distances.
Which means they're going to rely on landmarks. They'll use, like, a pharmacy, a bank, a massive shopping mall, or a prominent park as the reference point, instead of giving you an actual street name.
Which is helpful, mostly.
I mean, let's be honest, most locals couldn't tell you the names of the streets they walk on every single day anyway.
True. They know the visual terrain, so telling someone to turn at the bank instantly triggers a visual recognition. Telling someone to turn on Elm Street forces them to wander around looking up at trees trying to find a tiny rusted street sign.
Right, but there is a massive cognitive trap here.
Yes, there is.
The visual landmarks are essentially useless if you do not understand the prepositions that connect them.
This is a huge point.
Yeah, Aude gives these examples, highlighting phrases like next to the pharmacy, across from the park, or behind the shopping mall.
Those spatial relationships are the absolute core of the navigation.
Okay, but let me play devil's advocate for a second here.
Go for it.
Are those tiny directional words actually that critical? I mean, if the local tells me the destination is near a giant multi-story shopping mall, and I can literally see the mall from where I'm standing.
You're just going to head for the mall.
Exactly. I'm just going to walk toward the giant building. I feel like once I have the hardware, the big visual landmark, I don't need to stress over a tiny preposition. I'll just figure it out when I get there.
I see your point, but think of it this way. The landmark is hardware, yes, but the preposition is the operating system code that tells you how to interact with it.
Okay.
If you have the hardware but you input the wrong code, the entire system crashes.
Oh.
Let's use that exact scenario. You see the massive shopping mall. If the local said your destination is next to the mall, you're looking for a storefront on the main public street right beside the entrance.
Right. Easy enough.
But if the code they gave you was behind the shopping mall and you missed that tiny preposition,
Oh, man. You are going to be in a very different environment.
entirely different. You will spend 20 minutes circling the main plaza, increasingly frustrated. Meanwhile, your actual destination is located on an entirely different street tucked away near the commercial loading docks and dumpsters.
Just hanging out by the dumpster.
Exactly. Missing that one small connective word can genuinely route you away from the safe, populated train station and dump you into an empty industrial park. The precision of the preposition is what makes the landmark functional.
Yeah, okay, I stand corrected. So we have the theory down. We know we need the social shock absorber to open the conversation. We know we have to demand hard metrics instead of vague distances. And we know we have to treat prepositions like the operating code for our visual landmarks.
That's a solid toolkit.
Yeah. So let's analyze how this actually looks when all the pieces snap together under pressure. Aude and Alex demonstrate this flawless textbook interaction in the source that really highlights the pacing of a good exchange.
It's an excellent model to study because it showcases active information management.
Yeah, let's walk through it. Alex initiates it perfectly. He says, "Excuse me, could you help me? I'm looking for the nearest pharmacy."
There's the verbal knock.
Right. And Aude responds, "Sure, go straight for 2 blocks, then turn left at the coffee shop."
Yeah.
And here, Alex does something brilliant instead of just nodding and smiling.
It clarifies.
Yes. He repeats the core instruction back to secure it in his memory, and then immediately targets the vague distance. He says, "Okay, straight, then left at the coffee shop." Is it far?
He's chunking the data.
Chunking.
Yeah, he secures the immediate actionable steps, straight and left, before he worries about the final destination.
Ah, that makes sense. So then Aude answers, "Not really, it's about 5 minutes. It's right across from the bank."
She gives him the hard metric and the preposition.
Exactly. Alex confirms, "Perfect. Thank you so much." They part ways. The entire exchange is just totally frictionless.
It's textbook.
He used the polite buffer. He got his visual hardware, the coffee shop and the bank. He pushed for an objective time metric and got 5 minutes. and he locked in the exact spatial relationship across from.
That flawless exchange really shines a light on where most interactions fall apart.
Yeah, the contrast is stark.
Because if Alex had skipped that polite opener, he would have instantly triggered a defensive reflex from Ada. If he had just accepted, not really, instead of forcing the 5-minute metric.
He would have stepped right into the not far trap, wandering endlessly.
Precisely.
And it also highlights the most common, and frankly my favorite, cognitive short circuit that Ada and Alex bring up in the guide, which is mixing up left and right under pressure.
Oh, which happens to absolutely everyone, by the way, including native speakers navigating their own hometowns.
Which is such a massive relief to hear. But why does that happen? Why do we suddenly forget our left from our right the second we ask a stranger for help? It seems so basic.
It comes down to cognitive load theory.
Okay, what's that?
Well, your working memory only has a limited number of slots available at any given moment. Think of it like RAM in a computer.
Okay, I follow.
When you're lost, you're trying to translate a second language, you're monitoring a stranger's facial expressions to make sure you aren't annoying them, and you're trying to visualize a mental map of a city you've never seen before.
So your RAM is full.
Your brain's RAM is completely maxed out. And because left and right are arbitrary relative directions, they're usually the first pieces of data your brain simply drops to save processing power.
Your brain just completely blue screens on the most basic concept. That is wild.
It really is.
But this is where Ada and Alex offer the ultimate physical override. When your working memory drops the words, you completely bypass language altogether.
The physical failsafe.
Yeah. You literally just point your arm down the street and ask this way.
It's an incredibly elegant solution, really, because it grounds abstract linguistic concepts directly into physical reality.
Yeah.
If they said left and your maxed out brain causes you to point right, the local will immediately instinctively correct your arm or gesture the other way. It entirely removes the ambiguity of the spoken word.
So, to synthesize all this strategy for the next time you find yourself staring at a spinning blue dot, ditch the stubborn pride.
Step 1.
Remember that, is your absolute best friend and your social shock absorber. Refuse to accept subjective nonsense like not far and ask for exact minutes.
Push for clarity.
Treat prepositions as the vital operating code for your landmarks. And when your brain's RAM is completely full and the words fail you, just point your arm down the street.
It provides a highly effective framework for managing both the geography and the social friction of the moment.
The source material really leaves us with some great reflection points to consider too. Think about the last time you were genuinely, completely lost in a new place. How did you react?
It's a good question.
Did you use these polite buffers? Or did the panic take over and cause you to just blurt out demands? Because analyzing your own default reactions is really the first step to overriding them next time.
And as you reflect on those moments of being lost, consider the deeper layer of what is actually happening during these interactions.
What do you mean?
Well, we spend an immense amount of time obsessing over the mechanics, right? The vocabulary, avoiding the cognitive traps, memorizing the preposition.
Fair, the tactical stuff.
But beneath all of that strategy, stopping a stranger on the street for directions is one of the purest, most fundamental acts of human vulnerability.
Oh, wow.
You're stepping completely out of your ego. You are admitting you're entirely unmoored in their environment, and you're trusting that a complete stranger will pause the momentum of their own life to use their local knowledge to guide you safely on your way.
That's beautifully put.
The vocabulary and the grammar are ultimately just the tools we use to unlock that profound moment of shared human trust.
That completely reframes the whole experience for me.
Yeah.
The next time I'm lost, I will try to remember, I am not just looking for a train station, I am actively engaging in human cooperation.
It makes it a lot less scary.
It really does. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. Keep learning, drop the pride when you need a hand, and above all, stay curious. We will catch you next time.